Hi, and welcome to today's full body resistance band workout. In today's routine, we're going to be sculpting our entire bodies using resistance. For the lower body work, I'm going to be using a loop resistance band, a booty band, and for the upper body and ab work, I'm going to be using a long, flat resistance band. Both are medium strength bands. You can use heavier, you can use lighter resistance. It's entirely up to you. This workout does include a warm up and a cool down. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to place the bands down to the side of the mat. And we're going to begin with some roll downs. So I'd like you to stand up nice and tall. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to lower the chin to the chest. Inhale, and as you exhale, slowly start to curve forward, letting the arms hang heavy, letting the head hang heavy. Gentle bend in those knees. Deep inhale when you reach the bottom, and exhale, drawing your belly button in toward your spine, and slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time with your chin lifting last. Let's take that again. Inhale here, exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, and exhale, start to curve the spine forward, letting the head hang, letting the arms hang limp. Gently put some weight into the balls of your feet to feel a stretch deepening in the backs of the legs. Take another deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, slowly restack the vertebra, drawing your navel in toward your spine, lifting your chin last. Amazing. Let's roll the shoulders a little bit here. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you mobilize those shoulders. Let's start adding the arms, reaching and stretching through those fingers, opening through the chest for 4 and 3, feels really good. 2, reach a bit further, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to take the feet nice and wide, toes turned slightly out. We're going to squat down and then lift. Squat down, nice wide knees, and lift, pressing up through the heels. Lower and drive up through those heels. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Now we're going to add a reach. So we're going to reach, lifting the heel up off the floor, and then switch sides. Lower squat and reach. Plugging your navel in toward your spine, lengthening through the side body. As you lower down and then lengthen. Start to give it a lot of energy here, warming up the body, preparing for the exercises ahead. For 3 and 2, reach a bit further. And last one, lower and lift. Amazing work. Now I'm going to take a hold of my long flat band, and I'm going to take the band overhead, palms facing forward. We're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and we're going to add a side bend. So we're inhaling here, and as we exhale, we're just going to lean over to one side, stretching through the side body. Try not to let the head come forward. Bring the ear right toward the shoulder, chest is nice and open. And then recenter. Deep inhale and exhale, coming over to the other side, reaching and stretching, and back to center. Good. One more each side, feels really good. Reach and stretch, and back up. And last one, reaching and stretching, and recenter. Amazing work. Now we're going to get right into our workout. So we're going to take the band overhead again. Arms are about shoulder distance apart. We're going to inhale here, actually a little bit further apart than shoulder distance. And as we exhale, we're going to pull the band down across the upper back, bringing the elbows in toward the side of the body. So we're lifting and we're pulling down. Inhale up, exhale, pull down. Now, as you do so, I want you to really engage the core. So draw the belly button in toward the spine as you pull that band down, and gently contract those upper back muscles together as you pull the band, skimming it across the shoulder blades. Nicely done. Pulling the band down and lifting up high for 3 and 2 and final 1. Amazing work. Lift it up and lower it down. Now, we're gonna take the band out in front. I'm gonna take my grip a little bit wider on the band. You can always adjust as needed. So further apart, less resistance, closer together, more resistance. So find that sweet spot. We're going to keep the band and the arms at shoulder height. We're inhaling here and we're exhaling to pull the band apart. Inhale, the arms stay straight ahead, and then exhale, pull those arms apart. Good. So keep the arms straight the entire time, pulling apart, and then bringing the arms back to that starting position. Good. Working into those shoulders, upper back muscles, and chest muscles. Good. Maintain that nice tall posture. For 5, pull it apart. 4, amazing work. 3, last 2, and final 1, pull it apart and lower down. Nicely done. Now we're gonna switch our focus to our biceps, so I'd like you to step on the band. We want to create enough resistance here so that the band is tight, so you might need to wrap it around your hand depending on the length of your band. I want the band in my fist, and I'm gonna lock the upper arm in toward the side of the body. Opposite hand is on the hip. We're going to bring the fist toward the elbow and lower down. Again, loop it around as many times as you need to create that resistance so this feels challenging. Bring the fist to the shoulder and then lower. Don't totally straighten the arm. Fist to the shoulder and keeping that tension on the bicep. For 7, good. 6, keep that upper arm locked in toward the side of the body. 5, for 4, belly to spine. 3, you're doing great. 2, resistance on the way down as well as on the way up. And last 1. Good. Now, I'm going to take the band in my palm between, sort of holding it in place between the forefinger and the thumb. We want a nice flat palm. Palm is facing forward. Arm stays in line with the body as we take it to the side and then bring it back in. Take it to the side and resist it back in. Good. For 8. Keep those shoulders nice and level, neck nice and long. Last 6, resist it in. For 5, bring it back in with control. 3, 2, you've got this. And last 1. Now we're gonna come out and hold and pulse it to the side. Good, little controlled pulses. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Resist it back in. Nicely done. Now we're going to switch sides. So standing on the band, adjusting that tension, going into the bicep curl. So loop it around, hold it securely in your fist. Nice straight forearm so your wrist isn't bending here. Good. And we're bringing it up and lowering it down with control. Bringing it up and lowering, keeping the tension on the bicep. Good. For 7, lower with control. 6, ease down. 5, working those biceps. 4, belly to spine. 3, keep those shoulders down away from your ears for 2. And for one, lower back down. Nice, now we're changing the grip on the band. So we want the band in the palm between the thumb and the forefinger, nice flat palm. We're coming away from the body and resisting it back in. Bring it to the side and resist. Try not to let that shoulder come up. You want it in line with the opposite shoulder as much as possible. Good. For 6, resist it in. 5, nice work. 4, belly to spine, it'll help with your stability. 3, last 2, and final 1. Draw it in, bring it out to the side, hold it there and pulse. Little controlled pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resist it back in. Nice work. Now I'm gonna take the band around my midsection, and again, finding that part to grip onto where the band feels nice and tight. We're going to create flat hands. Imagine you're holding onto dinner plates. Palms are facing up toward the ceiling. From here, you're gonna rotate the palms to the side, keeping the upper arms close to the side of the body, and then back to parallel. Rotate, opening through the chest, working into those shoulders and back muscles. Plugging navel in, rotating, holding, and then bringing those arms back to parallel. Again, making sure you've got tension on the band here so you can really feel it. Good. We've got 4, rotate. 3, you might feel kind of little popping bits in the shoulder or parts that maybe don't get worked very often. Notice what that feels like. Try to smooth it out with every movement. Good, hold it here. Now we're gonna take the elbows away from the body, palms stay facing up, and we're just gonna pulse those hands out to the side, working into those shoulders, arms, and back muscles. Good, keep pulsing. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out a little bit further, reach, 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 and slowly resist it in. Nice work. Okay, we're now gonna get into some push-ups before we move into our core work. So I'm gonna show you a variation of a push-up using a booty band around your arms. So if this feels uncomfortable, you don't have to use it, but give it a try, okay? So you're going to put it around just above the elbow, and you're going to plant your hands down on the floor. From here, you can either come into position for a supported push-up with your knees on the floor or a full push-up with your legs extended. Now, for some reason, I don't know how it works, this band does support the movement, so notice. Normally I can't do a full push-up, but this band enables me to move a little bit more securely. If that's still too much, lower your knees down to the floor, keep those elbows in close toward the body, and keep moving through, pushing up through the heels of the hands, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears and the core engaged as you push mat away. Let's go for 3, abs in, 4, 2, push the mat away, and final 1, amazing work. You can remove the band from your forearms or from your upper arms and sink back into a child's pose. Lengthening through the spine, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you stretch out those shoulders, stretch out the back. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to get into our ab work. So I'm going to use the band to support the head for some crunches. Again, you can do this with the band, or you can do it traditionally with the fingers interlaced behind the head. So I'm going to fold my band in half, and I'm going to place it behind my head, and I'm gonna hold on to either end with my fists. I'm lowering down with control, relaxing head, neck, and shoulders down on the floor and creating sort of right angles with those elbows. Now again, we're not gonna be sort of tugging the head up. We're gonna be using the band to support the head as we crunch. So we're inhaling here, and we're exhaling to peel up, flattening the low back into the mat. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, flattening low back onto the mat, tightening the core and lowering. Exhale, lift, and lower with control. Lift, drawing navel in and lowering. Nice control as you lift up and lower down. Again, we're not using the band to pull the head, we're using it to support the head. Good. Now we're gonna add an extra lift. So we're inhaling, exhaling to come up, inhale to lift a bit higher, and exhale to lower down. Repeat, inhale, exhale, curl up, inhale, lift a bit higher, and exhale, soften the back down to the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, lift higher, and exhale, flatten your abdominal wall and lower down. Inhale, exhale, peel up. Inhale, lift a vertebra higher, and exhale your way back down. Nicely done. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Inhale, lift a bit higher, and lower down. Last set. Lift up, lift a bit higher, and lower down. Amazing work. Now I'm going to keep the band folded and extend the arms out overhead. Extend the arms, the legs long. Ooh, I'm losing my microphone. Now from here, we're gonna peel up to a seated position. So we're inhaling and exhale to lift up, lifting and then lowering, scooping lower abs in and lowering down to the mat. Lift up and engage the core and lower down. Lift it up, reach and stretch, and lower with control, one vertebra at a time. Amazing, working those upper abs on the way up, working those lower abs on the way down. Breathing through each position. Tensing the thighs as you roll down as well so that you're moving down with stability and control. Last one, lift and fold over the lower body. Hook your band to the underside of your feet and pull yourself down into a deep back body stretch. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3. Relax those shoulders. 2, fold a little bit more deeply into your stretch. And last one. Nicely done. Now I'm going to take the band and place it just under the right foot in the center of the band, and I'm going to roll down onto my back. Now you have the option of keeping the left leg straight, or you can bend the left knee. We're gonna lengthen through the leg, the right leg, and we're gonna start drawing some circles. Now your aim before you start drawing these circles here is not to let your hips rock from side to side. So I want you to really plug your navel in toward your spine, take the leg out to the side, circle it down and around, sweeping past bent knee and pausing on the starting point. So circling down, around, and pausing at the start point. So you can either be holding your band in 2 fists like this, or in one hand, whatever works best for you. And I want you to focus on pelvic stability as you rotate that leg around in the hip socket. Good, and core engagement as you breathe out and tighten your core to prevent your hips swaying from side to side. Now I want you to imagine that you've got a teacup balanced on that left knee. So that'll help to remind yourself to be focusing on that pelvic stability. We don't want to let that teacup fall off the knee. Good. Now switch direction with those circles. Sweep past bent knee, down, around, and up. Good. Working that core engagement. Nice, still stable hips. Getting a nice stretch as you come out and over to the side for 3 and 2 and final 1, keeping that teacup balanced. Nicely done. Now you can switch the band in your feet. I'm actually just gonna turn around so that I've got space to circle with this left leg. So I'm taking the band below the left foot, rolling down with control, stretching and lengthening, and we're going to circle away from the body down, sweep past bent knee and up to the starting point. Circling and coming back to the start. Good, inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Nice work, good control. Keep breathing through it. Imagine that teacup, it's balanced on your right knee now. We don't want to let it spill. We're keeping ourselves really steady by engaging the core. Good, let's switch directions. Sweep past the bent knee, down, up and around. Good, enjoy a nice stretch as you bring the leg out to the side. Only go make the circle as big as you can while maintaining control. So if you're really starting to rock around in those hips, decrease the size of the circle. Good. We've got 4 and 3. Nicely done for 2 and final 1. Bring it back to center. Now we're going to put both feet in the band side by side. Make sure you've got space in front of you to lengthen out. We're going to bend the knees in. I'm actually going to change my grip on the band. I feel like this will be more comfortable. Palms facing in. We're going to inhale here and exhale to extend. Then we're going to lower the legs and lift. Bend, push through those heels, lower the legs, belly to spine to lift. Inhale, exhale, lower and lift. Now if you're feeling good here, you're going to pick head, neck, and shoulders up into a crunch to increase the level of challenge. If that's too much, lower head, neck, and shoulders back down. Good, stretching and lengthening, drawing your lower abs in to lift those legs for 2. Bring it in, and last 1. Lift and hold. Now we're lowering and lifting. Lowering and lifting, abs in for 5. 4, you've got this. 3, nice work. 2, and 1, and bring the knees in toward the chest. You can take hold of your band, fold it in half, and just draw your knees in, using the band to bring them really close toward the chest so you can stretch the lower back. Nice work. From here, I'm going to keep the band folded in half, and I'm going to go into some oblique work. So take the band overhead. We're going to stretch the left leg out long. Inhale here and exhale, cross over. Now if it's too much with that leg straight, you're crossing over with a bent knee. So we're pressing the low back into the mat, crossing over, and then lowering either the foot or the whole leg down to the mat, depending on whether or not it's straight or bent. Challenge yourself by lifting up nice and high through that right shoulder. Let's go. 4 and 3. Great work. For 2 and final 1. We're going to come up and hold, lift and lower that leg for 5, 4, tightening the waistline, 3, 2, and 1, bend and lower, switching sides. Inhale and exhale to cross over, lower and lift, working into that waistline on the right side. Good, really challenging yourself by picking left shoulder blade up nice and high. Good. For 4, lift a bit higher. 3, flattening your lower back to the mat. 2, and last 1, come up and hold. Lift and lower for 5. 4, keep those arms nice and straight. 3, working that waistline. 2, and final 1, and relax it down. Amazing. Bring both knees toward your chest and circle those knees in opposite directions for 3, and 2, and 1. Take your hands behind your thighs and roll up to a seated position. I'm going to place the band off to the side and stand up, putting the booty band onto the thighs. So we want it just above the knees, and we want to stand with our feet about hip distance apart. I'm going to turn to the side here. We're going to start working the glutes and the thighs. So moving into some squats. We're going to lower and lift. Lower, send the bum out behind and lift. Now take a look at those knees. You don't want them knocking in. So you're pushing against the band to keep those legs parallel. We don't want to be arching the spine as we come back. We want a nice flat back. Good. And if you're struggling to keep the legs in alignment, just do a more shallow squat. Inhale, and as you exhale, drive up through the heels and tighten that core. Amazing. Stick with it. We've got 5, 4, drive up through the heels, 3, pulling navel to spine, 2, and last 1. We're gonna come down and hold for 10, 9, 8. Really send your hips out behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push up. Nice work. Now from here, we're gonna go into some side steps from a squat position. So we're going to lower down, 1, 2, and pop up. Lower, 1, stay low, 2, and lift. Nice work. 1 side step, 2 side step, lift, driving up through the heels. Stay nice and low as you step from side to side. And lift. 1, 2, and lift. 1, 2, drive up through the heels to lift. Amazing work. Last 2 sets. And lift. And last set. And lift it up. Great work. Now find the center of your mat. We're gonna lower down into a squat, and we're going to widen the knees and then bring them back to parallel. Widen and to parallel. So stay low. Come to the outside edges of your feet and then bring those legs back to parallel. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Working into the gluteus medius muscles. Sink a little lower. We've got 10, 9, oh no, these burn, stick with it. 6, 5, belly to spine. 4, little lower if you can. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now we're gonna move down to the mat for the final set of glute and thigh exercises. We're gonna strengthen our hips here as well. So come into position for clam. I'd like you to bring your heels toward your bum, knees are lined up, hips are stacked. Going into a clam exercise, gluing the inside of the feet together as we open and close the knees, 7, 6, 5, abs in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Now, elevated version, keeping the inside of the feet glued together. 10, 9, 8, 7, working those hips, thighs, and glutes. 5, abs in. 4, relax those shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Now, we've got 6 of this final move. Open, extend, bend, and close. Good. Open, extend, bend, and close. Last 4. Nicely done. Last 3. Full extension, toe to toe, knee to knee. 2. I know these burn, but we're nearly there. And lower down. Amazing work on that side. Now we're going to do the other side. Final push here before our stretch. So lowering down onto the side body. Knees lined up, hips lined up. We're going to open and close for 9, 8. Don't let that top hip roll back. 7, 6, 5, you're doing great. 4, 3, working against that resistance for 2, and final 1. Lift the lower parts of the leg. Elevated clowns for 9, 8, ooh, it burns. 7, we're so close to the finish line. 6, abs in, shoulders relaxed. Last 4, 3, keep that lower leg elevated. 2, and final 1. Now from here, we're opening, extending, bending, and closing. 5, 4, ooh, I'm shaking. 3, 2, stick with it. And final 1. Foot to foot, knee to knee, and lower down. Nice work. We are now going to move into our stretching. We don't need the booty band for this. We're going to use our flat band for our hamstring stretch. So bring it close to you, lower down, and we're going to cross the left leg over the right leg and draw that right knee in toward the chest. Breathing deeply as we stretch out the glutes on that left side, drawing that knee in close, relaxing the shoulders, and getting into that deep breathing pattern to restore and cool down the body. In through the nose and slowly out through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the stretch, switch the crossing of your legs, interlace your fingers behind that left knee, thigh rather, and draw that knee in. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling the stretch into the low back, deep into the glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Release. Find the center of your band and put it under your left foot. Now from here, I'd like you to find whatever height of your leg that you can have it perfectly straight. So we don't want it here, but not straight. So if that just means that the deepest stretch you can get is down here, but your leg is straight, that's perfect. See how far you can pull it towards you while still maintaining a straight leg. So mine's about here. I'm gonna hold it here, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, really lengthening through that heel, stretching all the way up the back of the leg, and the more you flex the foot, the more you'll feel it into the calf muscle as well. Deep inhale here, and as you exhale, try not to let the band flick back at you. I want you to draw the leg a little bit closer in toward this chest, deepening the stretch for the final few seconds. For 10, 9, 8, Pull it in a little closer if you can. Really get into that stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bend the knee, release. Place the band under the right foot. And again, find that spot where your leg is straight and you can feel the stretch. Hold it there. Nice straight leg, nice flexed foot, so you're feeling it into the calf as well as the hamstring. There's no better way, in my opinion, to stretch your hamstring than with a resistance band. But in place of that, if you ever need to, you can use a belt, a bathrobe belt. You can use a rolled up towel, or you can just use your hand by pulling your leg in. I want you to take it a little bit further, drawing that leg a little bit closer in toward your chest for the final 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, draw it in close. Feeling that stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend at the knee, release. Roll yourself up to a seated position. Sit with your legs crossed facing me. We're going to lower the right hand down to the mat and reach over to that right side, keeping the left bum cheek down on the floor. And then recenter, and then reach over to that left side, keeping the right bum cheek down on the floor. Reach a bit further and recenter. Lift your shoulders and roll them down and back. For 3, melting away tension. For 2, and final 1. Thank you so much for joining me for that full body workout. Great work today, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. Bye.